Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be painting sunny flowers on the terrace. For my sky, I'm using cerulean blue and I've added a tiny amount of brilliant magenta. You can also add a small amount of black if you want to make it even darker. I'm making it dark on the right hand side and I've added some white to the mix to make it slightly lighter on the left. Don't worry too much because a lot of the sky is going to be covered. I'm adding a few clouds because they might peep through the foliage here and there. Next, I'm using some masking tape to mask off the horizon line. For the ocean, I'm using a little phthalo blue, a little cobalt turquoise and some cerulean blue and white. I've sketched out my painting very roughly with a pastel pencil, but I have put a link in the description for a free traceable if you'd like to use it. The next step in the painting is really to block everything out. Take your time with this, make it as accurate as you can, and that will make your life a lot easier as we go along. I'm using yellow ochre with a little bit of black added to block out the building. And to get more of a pinky colour, terracotta colour for the roof, I've added a little bit of brilliant magenta to the mix. Now I have a blender brush. You could also use a flat brush, and I'm going to start marking out where the shaded areas are going to be and where the lighter areas are going to be. You can also get a really nice effect of brickwork on a building by using a flat or blender brush. Just use the shape of the brush to get those brick-like shapes. I've added white to the yellow ochre for the highlighted areas and a little bit of black to the yellow ochre for the darker areas. And don't forget, you can always go over the top if you're not happy with it. I've made a browny grey colour and I'm going to block in the tree on the left hand side. I've added some cobalt turquoise and a little black to my sap green to get a really dark green, and I'm very roughly blocking out where the dark areas are going to be with a large filbert brush. We can start adding some flower pots on the steps, a little bit of detail here and there. Slowly build it up and work your way around the painting until you're happy with it. You can really have some fun by adding whatever coloured flowers that you like, whatever coloured pots that you like, just to make the painting your own. I'm using an old large round brush to add a lighter green now to the leaves and foliage. It's a little bit frayed around the edges, but that gives me just the effect I want. So a little tip is, don't ever throw your old brushes away, they will nearly always come in useful. Now I'm using my brilliant magenta with a little blue added to it for the darker parts of the flowers. Then I'm adding the pure brilliant magenta and then a lighter version of it too by adding white or using my light pink. I've added some white to my green to make a light colour, and we're also going to put some highlights on the leaves. The next step is to add the shadows on the terrace. For this I'm using my leftover blue and I've added a little more brilliant magenta to it. I've also added some water because I want the paint to be quite thin, and with a large filbert brush we're just going to dab and dapple that all over the terrace. It's easy to remove some paint if you need to. Use a clean damp brush and it'll slowly lift the paint off. Keep it dry by wiping it on some paper towel. And also don't be afraid to add a little bit of colour to your shadows. I'm going to add a little bit of pink here and there because I think it looks quite nice. These are the colours and paints that I've used today, and here are some other videos that I think would be useful to watch next, and I'll see you next time.